Hey Tina, you're here quick. Hello my YouTube friend. We're on a very nice beautiful evening walk tonight. We'll see who comes in. Might just be you and me for a while, Tina. Let me okay, I'm going to the lottery box first to donate a handful of stuff. There's Jason. Hey, Jason. I know the riots are crazy. Hey, Mr. Brightside. I was just talking today in the shop stream. I was saying how if you charge $1 for an event, no one shows up in New York. You do something for free, and people go crazy. Like so many people line up, and that's what happened. Someone was giving away a PS5 in Union Square, which if you don't know, Union Square is literally 3 subway stops away from my neighborhood. So it's like 2 miles from here. It's really close. It's my backyard. It's like a 10-minute, 8-minute subway ride. It's so close. So it's crazy. Hey DBC. Hey Lars. Hey, hey Will. Hey Will. Oops, we are crooked. Oh, I'm holding this stuff. I think we're better. Oh, I'm dropping cassettes. I gotta get rid of these. So if you guys are curious, the 2 art print things I put out, someone took those. Someone took the 3 larger incomplete board games. The little like random stuff that was kind of broken, no one took that. So we just ended up tossing that out. But I had 3 tapes and one little game thing left. I'm gonna just put in the free give library thing. Which, all right, my phone is just not stabilized. I'm only have half a hand. It feels like. All right, stabilize. All right, there we go. That should be better. So I'm looking forward to this walk because we're going to be talking about those crazy riots today. We're going to give away some stuff. I was going to say, you don't have to go to a crazy riot to try to win a PS5. I think Very Gary's giving away one for free on Whatnot tonight. So if you guys want to Whatnot while watching me, I know Allison's doing it for me. Anthony, I'm not sure. I was sort of thinking about it, but I saw a little time right now because I'm doing so much that I don't know if I'll go, but I'm thinking about it. I know, that's the thing. In New York City, whenever you say there's something free, people go crazy. I've seen it so many times. I remember one time there was a rummage sale. And they announced it on the news or something. It was an 8-hour wait to get into just like a freaking rummage sale. By the time I got into the sale, there was nothing left. Because it had 8 hours of people lining up. Hey, Alex. But yeah. So, Very Gary's giving away a PS5. You don't have to riot in the middle of the city to try to win one. Someone's going to get one for free on Whatnot tonight. It's super crazy. Weather is beautiful tonight. It feels maybe 71, 72. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't actually check the temperature, but there's a nice little cool breeze. It is gorgeous out right now. I'm going to be looking for garage sale signs, although Royal Collectibles is having a little parking lot Comic-Con type thing that I'm sort of understanding about going. Well, Anthony, if you're going to be selling there, maybe I do need to go. My budget's still very low for comics. So I'm trying to avoid it, but I do want to make more comic content. So maybe I need to do a $100 limit video and see what I can get. It's so hard being limited, though, because I know I'm going to see comics I want that are a great price. There's a bit of a low-level cloud right now. I don't know if we're going to get rain. Someone check the forecast. Is there going to be rain tonight? That I'm not sure. No, I know Very Gay. I already gave you Street Side. If you guys don't know, when I first met Anthony, he was Spider-Man Anthony because he was a huge Spider-Man fan. And that's what people knew. Like when he goes to comic shops and stuff, he was Spider-Man Anthony. And then Very Gary went to one of his sales on a video like 2 years ago. and started calling him Street Side because he was selling, you know, just doing a street side sale at his house. You don't have to worry about emoji. Understand? I can't even see emojis on here. When I see emojis, it just translates it into the words. Jason, at Royal Collectibles, they're just doing the little like parking lot sale where there's like a handful of vendors selling. Yeah, time for a walk. I have a little bit of donation from the store. I ended up doing another 2 hours of sorting, so I got a lot of sorting done after the stream crashed, which is good. I'm kind of tackling the cassette area. I'm trying to pull out all the weaker cassettes and make sure the wall has all the kind of at least known artists. And then I'm trying to do like 3 trays of better artists. Get more cassettes sold. Got way too many cassettes. Okay, let's see if there's anything in here to look at. Nope, same as last night, but someone can get a free game and some free cassettes. There you go. Giveaway time. I kind of like the karma of giving away stuff. It's nice. It's better than throwing it out because hopefully it lives on. Okay, let me see what's going on with my phone. It just feels very crooked. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm sorry to hear the stress. Hey, Jesus. Yeah, it's stressful. I was a little bit stressful doing 30% chance of rain. Okay, 72. That sounded about right. Thank you, Raphael. Yeah. I have stress in general. Everything gives me stress, honestly. Me just going live thinking I'm saying something embarrassing stresses me out. All right, I think I should walk to Greenpoint to see if there's any sales going on.
He's all up in my stuff.
Why is this? I feel like it looks straight and then it gets crooked. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just obsessing over this. All right, I'm gonna look at it 1 second. Just a slight tweak. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. I was a little stressed about Fairy today because I felt really bad trying to tell him that he needed to post a little bit less, and he didn't say anything. So I hope I didn't like destroy his heart. I'm hoping I didn't make him totally devastated. Because I don't want to be negative towards him because I enjoy that he's excited to be in my videos. I know it's bothering a lot of people, just all the spamming he was doing. I do like rain. I just don't want to get rained on while I'm walking around because I don't want the phone and stuff to get soaked. But if I had an umbrella, I would love to do a nice rain stream. Rain streams have been some of my favorites. Oh, if you notice, it's Friday night in the neighborhood. It's packed with people. It's packed. It's early evening, so people are getting out. I'm gonna loop around and go to Greenpoint. Let's go across town. Go back the other way, like 10 blocks. Hey, Gotham City Comics. Yeah, he might have been caught off guard, and he might have just been upset about it, just because. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe he was on the spectrum or something that made him, his brain capacity different than normal people. So it might have just affected him. I feel bad. Okay, Zombie Monkey says, "Hi, Tina. Face red heart shape." See, I don't see the emoji. I just see it says face red heart shape. So it looks like it's a little shy. It's also garbage night. I apologize, Lars, but we might see lots of street candy pirates tonight. We're looking for garage sale notices. We got low cloud cover, so we're gonna see our beautiful colored clouds, our UFO appearance, and I don't know. I think Allison's entering in all the very Gary runs for me. So there was a Twitch stream. Oh, music. All right, music is very loud in the neighborhood. I'm gonna give it 1 out of 10 for ruining my video walk right now. 1 out of 10. There was a riot in Union Square today. There was a Twitch streamer who said he was going to give away a whole bunch of gift cards and PS5s and all kinds of stuff. Show up, and he created a giant riotous crowd. If you see, he like drives up in his van, and like the crowd starts charging the van. It was like kind of terrifying. Linda, are you west or east of New York City, or north or south? I'm just curious. Oh, Jesus, that's amazing. Cherry Pop Tart 1 is a great comic. I mean, it is an adult comic book, but I like Cherry Pop Tart because it's kind of making fun of Archie in a X-rated way. I have 2 copies. I don't know if they're both first print though. I think one might be a second print. But yeah, it was crazy. But it was funny because I was just talking on the store stream. I was saying how if you charge $1 for something in New York City, no one shows up. You give it away for free, people like show up in crazy droves. And then at the same time I was saying that they were rioting over free stuff in New York City. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, Street Candy Pirate sightings should be high tonight because it is a garbage night, although it does look like it might be stormy eventually. So because of the rain chances, maybe they'll be hiding. I have no idea. I know, we saw one set of bags that had probably a dozen of them. Oh, wow. Okay, the colorful cloud is just sneaking up over the edge of the building there. It looks really creepy right now. Let me see if I can zoom in. Zoom in. No, I can't really see. I just saw the red clouds pop up for a second. I was just like, what the fuck is that? And then I realized, oh, that's the bridge lights. Bridge lights. And now I can't see. It's too dark. Okay, back to... There we go. Back. Okay, we're going this way. I like underground comics of all sorts, whether they're adult or if they're just regular. I just like underground comics that are different and unique and just have interesting artwork. So I do collect, I collect a lot of Robert Crumb stuff. I collect most 70s underground books when I can find them cheap though, because they're expensive. A lot of those are $10 plus just to get a mid-grade copy. I buy them all when I see them in dollar bins. I buy eBay lots specifically just to get a couple for cheap. I'll have to watch Mystery Man again. It's been a long time since I watched it. I remember liking it, but... Oh, $150, yeah, it's not a cheap book. I don't know what my copy's raw, so I don't know what grade it is, but I don't think it's in too bad a shape. It's probably at least an 8. And I picked it up years ago for like $1. Well, that's the problem in New York City. You say you have free stuff, you have 10 things to give away, and if 1,000 people show up, only the first 10 people get it. It's almost like the Funko Pop line at any event, but it's worse. It's worse. I know, when people hear free, they go crazy, but half the time, people put more effort, and like they'll wait in line for 8 hours to get a free $10 item, not thinking if I spend 10 hours working on something, I can easily make hundreds of dollars. Yeah. Yep, Archie's done that 2 times because they also did a Vampironica type character. I think it was in Cherry Pop Tart possibly. And so because of that, Archie like sued them and they had to stop. But then they made their own Vampironica character in Archie. So it was like in the reverse of that. But yeah, Cheryl Blossom does feel like it was a response to that. I'm still actually looking for the first Cheryl Blossom appearance. I don't want to pay $200 or $300 for it, so I've been kind of waiting to find it in a dollar bin, a random lot on eBay. I'm always like bidding on Archie lots. I think there's a chance it might be in there. New Deadpool movie I really, really want to see. So that one I might see in the theater, but I might not. Well, you know what? I think I might. Now that's an MCU movie, not a Fox Marvel movie, I think there's a higher chance I'll see in the theater. I really did enjoy the first 2 though. So Lars, I am bad at remembering everyone's names. Harold Head sounds very familiar. So I have a feeling I have them, but I'm not 100% sure. All I know is I have probably a short box worth of 1970s underground comics because I have been picking them up over the years. I can't get them that often, but I'll find little handfuls of like 2 or 3 here or there. Or if you watch my comic haul, was it last? No, it's the weekend before that. I think I got like 10 or 15 underground comics in a bunch of lots. I know, and by then either A, I'm doing way better financially and I won't care about paying $35. Maybe I'll win the Mega Millions. Or B, I'll just be like, for $35, I can just buy a 4K Blu-ray of it and just buy it when it comes out or whatever. Or just rent it for $4.99 or $5.99 and watch it once and be happy. I mean, there's so many movies I only watch once. I really don't feel the urge of watching a lot of stuff more than once. Oh, my backpack just broke. I gotta figure it out. Look, free chair. Anyone want a chair? It's for free. Chair in progress, returning soon. I don't know what that means. Not sure what that means. Crazy. I also have the cherry Pop-Tart reprints of #1 that they put out last year. I think Rose Besh did one and Peach Momoko did one, and both of those reprints have gorgeous covers. Sorry, my backpack busted. Okay, I gotta fix it. I just have one of these little simple backpacks I gotta fix. Yeah, there's always freaking chairs. I don't know how I feel. Okay. I am going to tie an extra knot in this so it doesn't fall apart. Okay. Go. I like walking around with the lighter backpack for just walks because I don't like the big heavy weight on my back. But I have a bottle of water and I have an extra stabilizer on me. But then I carry the regular backpack when I'm comic hunting with the extra hand cart. Just in case. Emergency cart, I call it. No, I can't figure out how to wear this. No, what am I doing? It feels upside down. Alright, what am I... Oh, I'm holding this upside down. That's why. I'm sure the Steelbook is beautiful. I haven't really felt myself wanting to buy physical movies lately. So that's something I'll probably wait until maybe someone will trade it into the shop for like $5. Oh, look, we have a Pee Wee. No, that's not Pee Wee Herman. No, never mind. Music. I like this nice live music actually. Yeah, I don't know if I'll copyright that, but we got some live music playing right now. It's you can tell it's Friday night. The live music's coming out. People are enjoying it. We'll give it 10 out of 10 with the happiness going on. Like it. I'm happy they're calming to watch. Except for when people threaten my life. Then they're not so calming. Poo walks. I did have one poo walk that one night. You guys, if you missed that, 2 months ago I pooped my pants. So I did have a poo walk. Those ones I don't enjoy as much though. Lars, I'm so bad at remembering names. It's more like I remember covers and art. Oh, we got more music. Yeah, you can tell it's happening tonight. There's a lot of music. There's lots of people out. Lots of people having fun times. You know what I realized? I'm enjoying the fact that VHS tapes are picking up in popularity and are selling well for me. The reason why I like that is I don't have the urge to collect them. So it's one thing, just like records, I don't have the urge to collect records because it's rare for any record I have to go up in value. So I don't feel the need to have to keep it because I can always get it later on if I want it. So I don't mind selling those. VHS is going up, but I don't really feel the urge to collect VHS. I have VHS in my collection. I probably have 20 or so, but the ones I have, I've had for like 20 years, like sealed Iron Giants, international versions, Ziggy VHS, that kind of stuff. So what I like about it is I can buy VHS and actually just sell it all and actually have it as a business and not really, it's not one of those things where I'm keeping too much and it kind of hurts the bottom line and the short. The long term, it's okay. Because a lot of stuff I keep goes up in value, like really high. But short term, I feel like I can just start selling more of them and getting more of them. It's actually pretty good. I'm looking forward to having another thing that I can try to restock regularly that kind of sells well. I guess we can go through the park. A lot of these streets are all dug up. They're resurfacing them now. Like right now, it looks like this street they dug up. There's a whole bunch of streets they've dug up for resurfacing. But yeah. And that's one reason I've always enjoyed selling records is I absolutely love them, but I don't feel the need to collect them. So they've been another thing I can buy and sell and not worry so much about not, being too greedy with them. With comics and stuff, I get greedy because I kind of want to keep all the really cool ones. Okay, now we're sideways the other direction. This stupid camera. One day, this channel will be big enough I can get a really nice stabilizer. I don't have to fiddle with this cheaper one. One day. It's all about as best of a picture as I can get. Okay. Let's go through the quiet park. It's the quiet time. Oh, the lights are on at the field. We haven't seen that in a while. Yeah, I mean, I've had VHS in the past. I used to collect them when I wanted to watch all the movies. Yeah, it was the riots in the city were crazy tape. I was literally saying in the other stream how crazy it gets when you get free stuff in New York City. People go nuts for it. People will literally wait 8 hours to get something for free. And I'm just like, 8 hours of your life, what is that worth? You can go work or do something fun or get some value out of 8 hours. All right, I'm going to look for garage sale signs in Greenpoint, and then we're going to come back to the track, I think. I haven't walked the track in a while. I feel like I want to check it out. I'm always trying to find things that I like to sell in the shop that do sell well, like new categories. Like CDs are really dead, so I really feel like I'm going to have to get rid of some. I think what I'm going to do first is with the CDs, I'm going to organize 5 boxes or so of people in the park enjoying music. 10 out of 10 because they're having a nice little picnic, enjoying some music. I love it. People are out and about having a fun evening today. But I'm going to sort the CDs, try to do 5 boxes of better, like David Bowie, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, the better classic artists. Make 5 boxes of that kind of stuff. And then think about getting rid of a lot of the other stuff. Or just see how much I can sell if I have it slightly more organized. Which was what I was doing today. Was I was sorting cassettes after the stream went down. I started sorting the wall, trying to remove anything that I didn't even recognize what it was, and try to only put known artists on the wall. And then I made 2 trays of better, like some Beatles and that kind of stuff in the better trays, some James Brown. And then we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, I think it's fun too to be able to, like, sometimes you see my craziness without context and it doesn't mean anything. But if I'm actually explaining why I'm doing something, it probably makes a lot more sense. Oh yeah, no, I hated that. When I was a kid, we had one of those like racing cars that you could not racing car. I think maybe it was a racing car or it was another device that you could rewind them. The worst part was having a VCR in like 83, using it for a year, it stopped working, and it got put away for about 4 or 5 years where we didn't have a VCR. And then one day I just pulled it out and I tinkered with it for 5 minutes and got working again. Now that was the worst because I had 5 years of not having a VCR. But then I had a VCR again in like 86, I think. 86 or 87. I love that. At one point I had like 3 or 4 VCRs because I used to dub concert tapes. Like I'd copy them or whatever, duplicate them, whatever you call that, dupe them. And so I would trade concert tape. Oh, I just saw some lightning. So I would copy concert tapes and do a lot of concert tape trading in like 96, 97, somewhere around there. Now 97 I think is when I really got into it. Yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't have a ton because, VHS tapes were expensive. I remember we rented The Secret of NIMH. I watched it and it was so emotional to me that I watched it like 4 times before we returned it. And I felt almost depressed or sad that we had to return it because I really wanted to own it because that movie just hit me in like that right emotional spot. So I remember looking at, I think there's a little catalog that showed you how much tapes were that came with another tape we rented. And I saw it in there, it was like $80 because that's what they charge for you to get a rental tape. And so because of that, I was just like, how do I get $80? I literally spent a year thinking how I could earn $80 to buy the Secret of NIMH tape. Hey, Mary Lou. That sounds like a really nice Friday night back in the day. I don't know if I ever got one of those VCR DVD combos, but aren't those available semi-cheap or is it really expensive now? I don't even know. I bought a really, really nice VHS player in I want to say 2005 maybe. It was a high definition one. And I bought it because I wanted to have a good VCR, and B, I had like 3 high definition movies, and they looked fantastic because they were like Blu-ray quality before Blu-ray. But tapes were rare and expensive, so I ended up not using it that much. But what I really liked about it is it kind of up-resed regular VCRs a little bit. Okay, the sky's flashing, but I don't think it's lightning. I think it's like fireworks or something. I'm not 100% sure. We're gonna go see if we can figure out what's going on while the sky keeps blinking different colors. Okay, starting to look for signs too of tomorrow's sales, if there are any. Any sales tomorrow? Let's find out. They might not make them anymore. I know people offer them to me all the time though, so I don't feel the rarity in them. I feel like if I wanted a VCR, I could get one for like 10 bucks. Hey, Stephanie and family. Ghost in the Shell is a cool VHS tape. Actually, I realize I am collecting some VHS tapes when I get them now. I'm keep collecting 80s anime tapes. Like I kept the Project Eiko one. I kept a couple Urusei Yatsura ones. And I probably, like if a Kira one got traded in, I'd probably keep that. So I feel like I would keep some 80s manga, or not anime tapes. I feel like that's something I would collect. Yeah, I got rated 10 out of 10. It's the Ice Cream Song. Ice Cream Song is the best song when you're hungry for ice cream. 10 out of 10. Hey, David. More music. I'm just going to be rating music online. 4 out of 10 because it's not enticing me at the moment. 4 out of 10. Let's see, anything on this pole? Nope. Nothing. All right, we're gonna walk this way a little bit, then we're gonna go back to Williamsburg if there's no signs over here. See what's going on in the hood. All right, someone's lawsuit thing that they put up. Even Williamsburg, Greenpoint is kind of busy. Usually Greenpoint's a slower area, but I see quite a bit of people over here. You sure about that, Jason? I mean, if it is, that's amazing, but. So I can whistle it and not get striked. Oh, I saw another flash. Was that lightning? I wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna cross over this way. Everyone's out having pizza. Everyone's at the restaurant. The restaurants are hopping. Crowds are out and about. It's some kind of weird sign. Don't know what that's about. Man, there's a lot of people out tonight. This is definitely, the weather's gorgeous, so I'm not surprised. It's a nice 72 degrees with a little bit of a breeze. This is like, 72 degrees, honestly, to me is temperature perfection. I could live at 72 degrees all year long and it would be like heaven. Plus there's a slight breeze, so even if it's like a little bit muggy, at 72, the breeze just cools you down. I love wasabi. I will just eat it out of the tube sometimes. I love wasabi. I love how it clears up your nostrils. Your eyes tear a little bit, it like clears your eyes. If ever your eyes are itchy, just get some wasabi. It helps clear them up. Manga entertainment that's sold in. I mean, it sort of makes sense. It's like Marvel Comics selling a Marvel movie, I guess. Oh, the smell of fresh fruit. It smells like melons. For dinner tonight, I had leftover Mexican that I didn't finish last night. It was like a rice bowl with beef and cilantro, I think, and a couple other things mixed in. It was really good, actually. And then it was, I forget what it's called. It's not elote, it's the elote in a cup version. I had that, which was really good. So I just had some leftovers that I heated up. I am not seeing any garage sale signs. I just don't know if there's anything in the neighborhood tomorrow. I might have to just go take a trip to Forest Hills. Or not Forest Hills. I don't know. Where is, trying to think, what neighborhood is Royal Collectibles in? I know it's, I believe, like on the edge of Queens. I always forget. You worked at Manga Entertainment. All right, Jason, tell us all about Manga Entertainment. Because, wait, who said that it cracked them up? So Zombie Monkey, Jason actually worked at Manga Entertainment. Supervillain Forever. I am not going to be able to pronounce that. But it was delicious. That's what I can say. Yeah, Jason, did you get swag? Do you have swag left over, hidden in the depths of your closets? I'd probably be really excited for that kind of stuff. I keep seeing flashes. I don't know if it's lightning or fireworks. I don't know if we're going to get rained on.
Oh, and then she got into a home.
We might have a shorter stream today if I start getting covered in rain. All right. I'm gonna read Jason's message here. I'm gonna see. It says Manga was part of Palm Pictures, which had just bought. Oh, Ryko Disc was. A lot of their CDs are actually quite valuable, I think, because they're more limited print. And he was mostly on the music side. Okay, so he probably worked on the soundtrack, legal stuff. Perfect Blue, Ghost Shell. Yeah, two good, amazing titles. Both great movies. I think then those are two I actually have on Blu-ray. Let's see. No. Let's go down the beautiful block. Why not? We haven't done this in a while. Although I don't like to walk away from the traffic. I do kind of want to walk in the middle here for a second. I love this block. That is dope, Jason. I did not know you were involved in that side of things, Jason. That's really cool. I'm guessing that's why you kind of like old manga, but you kind of don't, because you know it was probably intense work for a while. I love that stuff. The early 2000s, I think, was when I really got into manga and anime. I didn't grow up with it. I remember seeing, I believe, Robotech at a friend's house, and I thought it was amazing, but I couldn't figure out what it was for like a year. But then I think 98, I watched Princess Mononoke. I remember we went to the video store. We looked for something to rent. I looked at the cover. I was like, wow, this thing looks amazing. We rented it, and I fell in love, and I just went crazy. Oh, okay, interesting. So by worked in distribution, was that, did you package up orders? Like really low end distribution, or did you do more of like the paperwork stuff? Just very curious. Because there's always, 30 different layers. Oh, I'm sure it is cool. If I had the space and like lots of extra money, I would collect a whole ton of steel books and like really cool physical media. I just don't feel the urge to do it. Yeah, Castle of Cagliostro is amazing. Oh, okay, that's cool. So you did layout work. Oh, that's really neat. Hey, Donald. That's actually really neat. So I might actually have some of those catalogs randomly in my collection somewhere. Now I have to think of this. Every time I'm going to see them, I'm going like, did Jason work on this one? This Jason's work? That is really cool, actually. Okay. Jason, for some reason, your message popped up 58 times. I don't know if I disconnected for a second. Okay. All right, I'm not seeing... Oh, big sky. All right, I think we're going to have a big storm coming. No, that's what I'm thinking. I wonder if Jason has any of his manga swag from back in the day hidden in boxes in the back, because I mean, I would love to see that kind of stuff. I had one collection in, probably about 10 years ago. It was, sadly, as a woman who passed away, so her boyfriend sold the collection. but she really liked 80s manga, so she had a whole bunch of tapes, but also a whole bunch of like catalogs and all kinds of cool manga stuff from the 80s. And I like probably like 5 or 6 cool, no, actually probably a dozen total, like Inuyasha pins and Yorosei Yatsura pins and Project Echo stuff. It's actually pretty cool. Yeah, it's gorgeous out right now. It's a big old trashy mess. It's like 72 degrees. It does feel like it's gonna rain though, because I see a lot of clouds and there's like flashing in the sky in the distance. I don't hear thunder yet though, so it's gotta be, 5-10 miles off. So I might be able to get at least an hour before I get drenched. I'm hoping I don't get drenched because I don't want to destroy any equipment. Jason, it looked like you froze up for a second. I don't know if it was my stream went out. I've had a strong signal, so I don't know if it was me, Amazon, or you guys. So if a lot of you, okay, you guys want me to do a reset? Are you still kind of going in and out? If you're going in and out, I'll do a reset. Right now, it looks like my signal is going really strong though, so I don't know if it was Amazon or the Streamlabs or not. Oh yeah, I didn't know that artist by name, Lars, but I actually have a lot of that stuff. Like the Psychic Girl, I probably have a complete run of that, and I have a few other things.
It's just me,
Babe, they going home. It's just you.
I also have a ton of Crying Freeman. I probably have a full run of Crying Freeman reprints. Samurai Crusader, I don't know if I have that. Sanctuary, I think I have a bunch of. I don't have the manga Spider-Man. Oh man, Jason, that would have been cool. It's alright, it happens. It happens. We all get into our purge mode. Sometimes it's good to purge stuff because it gets just a little overwhelming. Let's loop over this way. I feel like going down these side streets that we usually don't go down because usually my signal goes out and I guess we had a little bit of a signal problem, but it hasn't gone out fully like it normally does. So I feel like we're going to try this out. I mean, we've all watched a ton of movies over the time that we might have forgot about. Every once in a while, I go back and I watch things I thought were amazing and they kind of suck. Or sometimes I watch stuff I thought was kind of okay and then I watch it again and it's amazing. And then sometimes I watch stuff that I remember being amazing. I watch it and it's even more amazing. I think with time and life experiences, movies change. Like as a kid, I loved Ice Pirates. And I haven't seen it in 40 years. I watched a few minutes of it the other night. I'm like, wow, this is so schlocky. I can't believe I like my memory of it is probably way better than the actual movie. Yeah, I did hit that one spot where your comment popped up like 30 times, Jason. So that must have been just one little spot where it kind of disconnected. Yeah, it's like when people ask me, or if I say sometimes, do you have any manga comics? Like, it's kind of funny. It's like the Spider-Man movie when the Spider-Man Indio is making fun of them calling it TT, basically. Oh, it's so peaceful right now. I don't even want to talk. There's no people right here. Just an open motorcycle factory or something. Repair shop. Slight hum of air conditioner. The breeze of the wind. It's gorgeous out right now, actually. Oh, we got some music. 10 out of 10 because I'm enjoying this block. 10 out of 10 because it's not so loud and obnoxious, but it sounds like people are having a fun time. No giveaways today. Today is like I said, I think this is a waveform. Today is a non-win day. I've entered a bunch. Allison's entering a bunch, but no wins. Very Gary, I think, is giving a PS5 away today, so it's worth checking it out. But I could tell yesterday was a good luck day because Allison won a big giveaway in a room of 200 people. I won Common Traders twice and a buyer's giveaway. Common Traders is like 300 people in the room. So winning twice, the chances of that happening is like, right, so one stream is 1 in 200 chance, which is very low. 2 streams is 1 in 4,000 chance, because you have to multiply them. 3 streams is 1 in book drive. Drop off, you gently use books. Okay, yeah, 3 streams, 1 in, I don't know, 10,000 chance. It's a little bit higher than that because I know you have to factor in all the ones I didn't win and it wasn't in a row. But still, the Empire State Building looks awesome with the clouds around it. Look how gorgeous. But yeah, today's a low luck day. I keep not winning or even feeling like I'm going to win. Yesterday, I just felt like I was going to win. Like it felt a really high chance of winning each time. Which, I won 5 regular giveaways and a buyer giveaway. But that's okay. I'm at 37 total wins since I started on July 19th. So was that 3 weeks, 2 weeks? No, 11. Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I'm at 37 in 2 weeks. I'll probably need 1 more week to get the last 13. So I'm getting, it's happening. I don't know if I know what Alpha and Omega 3 movie collection set is. I don't think I've heard of that. Yeah, I really don't see any notice about any sales or anything tomorrow. So I might go to Queens depending on how I feel.
So I can barely see her.
I got lots of people dressed up, going out to the clubs. My music, 6 out of 10. It sounds nice. 6 out of 10. It's an appropriate club location. I don't feel like it's too loud. I think most of my reviews of music now will be the location, if it's appropriate to have your music blasting.
I know. That's what
No, not really. Because when you're young, everything is new and exciting, right? It's like, first time you had pizza is probably going to be one of the best times you had it, right? But I still think there's things that I watch that hit me the same way. It just has to be much higher quality. Like, I think the first time I saw The Matrix, my mind was blown. Yeah, we won a lot yesterday, and it was good stuff too. One was a signed Mike Mayhew comic that's probably like $50-$60. I won 1 Comic Traders, which I won while watching television, so I had no idea what I won, but it's usually a $15 to $20 book. And then at the end of the show, they did a 2-book giveaway. I won. No, it's not any luck to do on Whatnot. It's recognizing the patterns and knowing when you'll win and entering a lot. Whatnot has a very programmed video game type system of how you can win, and it's very recognizable. So some days I know there'll be a high chance of winning, or I might get 2 wins in a row. Every once in a while you do get that random win that makes no sense out of nowhere. And then there's some days where you're just winning nothing, and I'll be in rooms with like 6 people and I win nothing. And I'll do that like 8 times, knowing that it's just one of those days I'm not gonna win. No, I didn't check Craigslist. I feel like Craigslist has not been good for sales lately. It's always Eli's sale in right by Desert Island. It's always like his listings and that's it. Stephanie, what movie was I talking about? I forget. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to get 1 ticket for Mega Millions. I don't buy more than one. One's enough, just so that I'm in. If I don't play at all, there's 0 chance. If I play, there's at least a chance. It's still 0, but there's at least a chance. But buying like 10 or 20 of them is just throwing money away in my book. Like the chance of winning with 1 ticket or 50 tickets is not 50 times greater. It's still next to 0 each time. Oh, The Matrix. Yeah, The Matrix is still a really, that's like one of those movies that really changed how I'm thinking, like The Matrix, Fifth Element, Jurassic Park, more modern movies, maybe The Prestige. I feel like some Christopher Nolan movies are probably, no, but Christopher Nolan's just good in general. But I don't know if he's ever done a movie that made me just like, it just upscaled the quality of movies in general, I think. I don't know. I really hate typing on my phone because it autocorrects everything and I type really bad. So it ends up autocorrect. It almost autocorrects until you're kind of obnoxious, right? I'll add like the complete wrong words. All right, we got a dozen half-naked people eating at the bathhouse. Trying to think. I mean, as a kid, you had Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, the first Batman movie, Jurassic Park. Oh, Toy Story 1 is another movie that really just... Oh, I'm feeling drops now. Okay. If I start getting really wet, I might have to end the stream. But I'm trying to think, is there any movies I watched recently that just changed my vocabulary of what is a great movie? I don't feel like there's anything recently that it's really just... Oh, Everything Everywhere All at Once. There we go. That's a modern movie that was absolutely phenomenal. That just changed the quality of movies to me. Oh, and Parasite. Parasite was amazing too. Parasite was so good. Trying to think of what else recently that, like, you know, I enjoy Marvel movies, but they're all Marvel. They're just big blockbuster movies. They're not like anything special. Music, 4 out of 10. Whatnot is basically a waveform of wind because you can't technically program a computer to randomize things. So I'm assuming it uses a number chart so that there's sometimes where you're higher luck and sometimes you're lower luck. That's why you'll see people win 2 or 3 times in a row often. It's like when it's your... I saw one guy win in 5 different rooms one day. And I couldn't win anything. I kept losing everything. And that wasn't because he was extra lucky that day. I just think it was his day for the algorithm to trigger his wins, basically. Roger Rabbit was a really good movie, especially because it was the, you know, animation with live action. I don't remember if Roger Rabbit really changed. Like I enjoyed the movie. It was a great movie. But I don't know if it like upgraded my level of, oh my God, what a great movie could be. I'm not 100% sure if that one hit me that way. I did really love it though. Oh yeah, you guys have a big party and I won't show up because I'm bad at big parties. That'll be awesome though. You guys can live stream the party for me. I love that idea though. I love it. Yeah, just make a huge party for all the streamers and you just live stream it for me. I haven't watched Sense8 yet. I want to watch it. I just haven't. I do like the Wachowski stuff a lot. A good friend of mine worked on all the Matrix movies, Speed Racer, V for Vendetta, what was the time, not the time travel, but the 3-era one with Tom Hanks, Cloud Atlas. He worked on those. So like I have a connection to their movies, so I think they're all beautiful. I just never had time to watch Sense8, which I really should. First Iron Man, I didn't go to the theater. I watched it at home. I thought it was a really good movie, but didn't change what I would call the level of movie amazement. It just felt like a really good superhero movie, right? Because it was, first Iron Man was better than probably the X-Men movies, but I don't know if I liked it better than the Spider-Man movies. So to me, it was just the next in a line of really fun superhero movies. that would be fun. Salty, if you win, what I want you to do is I want you to pay for a Whatnot giveaway show, and we give away my entire store. That's what you could do. That would be fun for me. And hire some people to package it all up because I don't want to package it. But that would be the kind of party I would like to do. Giving away records, giving away CDs, giving away DVDs, giving away pops, giving away everything. Giving away the rest of the PopFuzzes. Mr. Beast style. I once had this dream that I was able to somehow sign a contract to sell my entire store inventory to Banksy. And Banksy would come and Banksy every single object in the store, and then we just sell it like normal. Or give it away. Or no, sell it like normal. It has to be, you still have to buy DVDs for $3. But every single item would be Banksy'd. No, Pulp Fiction was an amazing movie, but I didn't see it in the theater. I didn't watch it in the hype. I didn't watch Pulp Fiction until like 2 or 3 years after it came out. I think Allison's like, oh, we should watch it. So this was 99, 2000. We got a little bit of music. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. So Pulp Fiction, I didn't see when it was new, so it didn't really affect me in the lexicon of movies. But I watched it years later, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And then I started watching every single Tarantino movie. I do have to say, when I saw Princess Mononoke, that really changed. But that could change as soon as I saw any Studio Ghibli movie, because they're all amazing. Dark City was a fantastic movie. I love that one. I also like the City of Lost Children is another amazing one from that era. Lots of really good movies. But a lot of that stuff I was watching post-Matrix era, because I feel like there's before, like the best movies of the kind that I feel like there's an era before them and then an era of them. So think of like Logan's Run. I love Logan's Run. Logan's Run was the big blockbuster sci-fi movie the year before Star Wars. So before Star Wars, you had like 2001, then you had like Logan's Run. So that's like from 69 to 75, there's barely any sci-fi. And then Star Wars came out. Star Wars changed the landscape. Same thing with, what you call it? Jaws. Before Jaws, you didn't have that big blockbuster movie. Jaws changed the landscape. So a lot of, like Sin City was a great movie, but came out in a landscape of lots of great superhero movies coming out. So it didn't really feel like it changed it for me. Yeah, it's like 1.3 billion now, which is crazy. So if you take a lump sum, it's still probably like 400 million. It's crazy. If I won the big money, I'd just go into being a toy and comic company that had satisfaction of creating amazing stuff as its goal and not profit. So I'd just be like, I'd make comics, and if they made a profit, that's awesome. But if they lost money, they'll keep going. As long as I'm happy with it, they'll just keep going. It would be amazing.
For so long.
You know, I realized another reason why I'm really enjoying the live streams on the main channel is that I brought over my fun and joy of doing the AI images to the main channel, and that's upgraded that quality too. I'm no longer stressing out about trying to figure out what thumbnail I want to make. I just write a kind of idea of what I want into the AI, and it creates a bunch, and then I just pick out something, and then I might Photoshop it a bit, and it's a lot more fun to me. I really like it. I like making these crazy super... Today's thumbnail I don't think worked as well because it had a lot slower, smaller click-through rate. So tomorrow or the next main channel live stream, I have to do another crazy, a whole bunch of toy thumbnail and not the VHS shop one. It would, I mean, it sounds like it would be really fun. I probably wouldn't go though. Not that I don't want to meet you all in person. I don't like larger than like maybe like 2 people at a time situations. It just becomes really loud and chaotic, and I don't function. First movie I saw without my parents. Like the first one, I just went with a friend. Wow, I can't remember. That's weird, I can't remember that. That would have been a monumental moment, I think. For me, I just think I've always loved just going and seeing movies. So it didn't really matter who I saw them with. I would just go see movies. I mean, it's always fun to see a movie with a friend or family, but I don't think there's ever really been a time, maybe only like a handful of times in my life where I would go to a movie theater by myself. I'm sure I went with my best friend in high school a bunch of times. But I did see Avengers Endgame. No, Avengers Infinity War in the theater. I saw it because my mom wrote and said, "Oh, you gotta be careful. Something happens to Spider-Man and the cool kid might be devastated." So I was like, "All right, let me go see it before someone else spoils it," because my mom spoiled it. Okay, 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10. It's nice to have nice music out of your food truck, but it's really hard to walk by the food truck with the music's blasting. This is one that copyright claims me too. So 5, no, I'm gonna give it 1 out of 10 because of the copyright claims. 1 out of 10. Christmas Story is a classic. Man, Aliens at 5, holy crap. That must have been terrifying. I'd be afraid of a volcano lair because I'd be afraid of it erupting and destroying all my cool stuff. Empire Strikes Back, that's a great movie to see by yourself. Wow, I can't remember the first movie I saw by myself, just without anyone else but me. I don't think I like going to the movie by myself. The only time I can remember going by myself is Avengers Endgame, just because I didn't want to be spoiled. And then I saw it a second time that day because I took Allison the Cool Kid. I don't think I've ever seen a movie, what I'm saying is I saw them with friends, and I'm sure I saw a bunch of stuff with my best friend from high school. But I don't remember there was a time when I went with parents and then I went with a friend. To me, it just blends together as I went with people I care about seeing movies. Music is, I want to give it an 8 out of 10, but also because I'm in public and it ruins my stream, I'm going to give it 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Man, there's a lot of music tonight. Zombie Monkey, that sounds amazing. Well, okay, here, in the 90s, I've always been a sci-fi movie buff. So in the late 80s, I would take out all the cool old school sci-fi movies from the library. And, Popeye with Robin Williams. I have memories of going to that movie theater with my dad and sister, I think. It might have just been my dad. It might have just been me and my dad. Maybe my brother went. But we were late. So we started watching the movie and it was already a minute into the movie. And it really is, ever since that movie, I have movie anxiety where I'm always afraid of missing the beginning of movies. And it drives Allison crazy because I make her rewind stuff often. If it's the beginning of the movie, but it's 2 seconds in, I'm like, we gotta start from the beginning. Rewind it. I think I have Popeye movie anxiety because of that. But yeah, the only time I can really remember being in the theater by myself was Avengers Infinity War. And then I saw the same movie again 2 hours later that day, or whatever. I went with the Cool Kid and Allison. It was awesome. Outlander was Sean Connery was good. Blade Runner was good. Brazil's good. I like those. I don't know if I love them though. Here's the thing, I find some of those movies a little bit boring, and I know it's blasphemous, but I've watched Blade Runner maybe 5 times in my life, and I enjoy it. I love the topic, I love the look, but the pacing, there's just something about the pacing that it doesn't quite work for me. Outland, I haven't seen it in a while, though. I do remember enjoying it, though. Yeah. Yeah, are you kidding me? I was the one crying. I was in the theater crying. Like watching everyone snap away. They're watching their loved ones turn to dust. But I knew they were coming back. But it was such a traumatic moment. So my mom wanted me to go and make sure that I felt it was appropriate. So we went, and Cool Kid was fine about it. The Cool Kid, he's at the age where he's mad that they don't kill off characters. It's come on, none of the deaths mean anything. But what was I saying? So I loved sci-fi movies in the 90s. I was a big sci-fi movie nut. And I remember Starship Troopers came out and the ads looked so good. I was like, I gotta see this. So I went with my stepdad and my little brother, who was 6 or 7 at the time. I didn't really think about it. It's a Paul Verhoeven movie. So there's nudity, there's probably the most gruesome action I've ever seen in any movie. Like, people are just being torn to shreds, blood and guts everywhere. It's like people just being, shot up, or not shot up, but like torn up by bugs into pieces. Oh man, that movie was really kind of disturbing for a little kid. My little brother was grinning the whole fucking time. And then after the movie, he's like, Sean, thank you so much for taking me to the movie. It was the best movie I've ever seen. He was so thrilled to have seen this hyper violent, crazy movie at like 6 years old. It still cracks me up, his reaction. He loved it. My little brother is ADHD, so he's always kind of hyper, so I think he just liked the craziness of it. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Oh yeah, missing the beginning of Flesh. I can't miss the beginning of the movie. I need to see the opening credits. If I miss the the MGM line, I need to rewind it. I can't miss a second of the beginning of a movie. The beginning is like so important to me of any show or movie. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, no, I think I saw a few rated R movies as a kid. I remember seeing Beverly Hills Cop, and I think there was like nudity in the stripper scene. Kind of remembering feeling this felt kind of awkward. I have a memory of watching Planet of the Cave Bears at home. I think my mom rented the VHS tape and the love scene. I remember my mom covering my eyes, and like I was watching it like this. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you covering my eyes? This is obnoxious. Stop that. So it's funny. So like all the moments I've censored the cool kid. I always tell him I'm censoring it for his own good. But he appreciated that when we were watching, what was that evil Superman movie? Brightside? Was it Brightside or Burnside? No, what was that evil Superman movie called? We watched that. Anyway, there's one scene where the lights explode and the glass hits the lady's eyeball, and then you see her eyeball with the glass sticking out of it. I was like, I couldn't watch that, and the cool kid was covering my eyes. He's like, I got you, Daddy. He started covering my eyes like that. It was a great experience, actually. I love being censored by, I think it was like 8, 9 years old at the time. Great censoring. Oh yeah, I think you told me that, Jason. And you can tell everyone, I know the new girl from Starship Troopers.
Yeah, that's why I like started crying.
I don't even know if it's B grade. I think it's a quite over the top Paul Verhoeven movie. They don't make them like that. Now Brightburn, that's it, Brightburn. Paul Verhoeven just makes such over the top amazing movies. RoboCop, Total Recall. I love all those movies. No, Lars, I understand that a lot of people think Blade Runner is the best movie ever, so I'm not going to fight you on that. I just don't like it that much. I find it kind of boring. But that doesn't mean your opinion is invalid. Because I know for a lot of people, it's their all-time favorite movie. The way my mind works, I feel like there's something off with the pacing. I never watched the cartoon.
There always are. Same thing.
Everyone experiences movies and books and different things in different ways. So sometimes they can hit for one person and not for another. When I was like, by the time I was 10, I would go to sleepovers and we would get R-rated movies all the time. We'd go to the rental place and we would rent Nightmare on Elm Street. We would rent any schlocky horror movie with boobs, Toxic Avenger. We would see RoboCop and Aliens. Okay, let me see if I missed any. I'm just talking without reading. All right, I think I caught up. If I missed any questions or comments, you could say it again. Oh, awesome! I'm so happy the Sagittarius arrived safely. That is fantastic. I think that one, the Sagittarius had a slight dent on it, and I had showed it on screen. I just wasn't sure if you had seen it because you grabbed it. I had put it in the buy it now for someone else, but they didn't like the price. So I was happy that you grabbed it because it's still sold, but I wasn't sure if you had seen on stream. I think that was small dent on the back. So I'm hoping you were okay with it. Oh, is this? Yeah. Oh. Anyway, on the topic of Blade Runner for a second, I still love Blade Runner. I think it's still a beautiful sci-fi movie. There's just something about the pacing that always feels off for me, and I don't know what it is. Usually, it's so cartoonish that you don't realize how violent it is. But it's probably the most violent movie ever created. It's one of those movies where it's cartoonish, but it's just an anti-fascist storyline. So it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of meaning behind the book. So I don't know if it's 100% translated into the movie. But it's interesting. To me, it's an interesting movie, and it's definitely worth a rewatch. You still might not like it though. Again, as I say, every person experiences things through a different lens, based on your own life experiences, how you perceive things. I mean, there's as many different brain types and ways of thinking as there are different types of noses. There's some people that are colorblind, so they don't see certain colors, so they experience things that other people. There's some people that see more colors, where they experience everything in millions of extra colors. There's the people with was it synesthesia, or I forget how you say it, where they see a color and they smell something. So it's just like, I'm sure there's some movies where they're watching aliens, they watch aliens, and when they see the alien, it reminds them, or it smells like cherry pie. Alien smells like cherry pie, right? Which would be crazy. Humanoids. I don't know if I've ever seen, I don't even know what humanoids is. All I know is I'm at the point where so much stuff is so boring. I need new experience, a new movie. Like, it takes a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once for me to really enjoy the storytelling. It has to be something different. I feel like so much just feels like a repetition of the same thing. I'm gonna go up the park this way. Right now, it's been so long since I've seen it though. I have to rewatch it. I feel that some 80s movies, when I rewatch them, I realize I just don't enjoy them as much, just because of whether the effects haven't aged well, or that's right, I wanted to go to the track. The effects haven't aged well, or maybe the political context of the movie is doesn't hit the same. It's all right. I feel like it's good to revisit movies, but certain movies I don't want to revisit because I want to just leave them in my memory as something I absolutely loved. But I'm at the point too where I don't consider a movie a great movie, or a movie that's one of my favorites, until I've watched it at least 2 or 3 times. I feel like a great movie should be one you can watch over and over again. And a lot of movies you enjoy the first time, and that's about it. One time is enough. Yeah, no, Starship Troopers is they're like, all the soldiers are for a fascist government. So it's actually the soldiers are, the soldiers are just peons in the war, but the soldiers they're like Nazis, basically. The bugs are the ones that are getting destroyed. Starship Troopers is a fun movie. But Paul Verhoeven's German, I think, so it's a very German take on the story, I believe. It's alright, it's been a while since I've seen Starship Troopers. I actually need to add it to my list. I'm kind of waiting for the cool kid to be kind of old enough to watch a lot more of that kind of stuff with him. Original Rocky movies are fantastic, and it's been a while since I watched them, but the last time I rewatched the Rocky movies, they're still as good as they're just really, especially the first one, just really good writing. Rockies are one of those movies where it's just like, it's just a good movie when you watch it. I enjoyed Infinity War. I thought it was great, but I feel like you had to be on the ride. Have you seen Banshee on Inisherin? No, I haven't seen it. So it's Banshees on Inisherin. Fantastic story about what we leave behind and your personal legacy. Is it streaming on anything right now, Kevin? You know, when this stream is over, can you leave that in the comments just so I can research and look it up a little bit? I find that kind of fascinating. Young Frankenstein is a fantastic comedy. I love all that. Mel Brooks. I love all the Mel Brooks stuff. I need to give it a good rewatch, but I think the last time we watched it was maybe like 13 years ago. Deadpool 3, yeah. I think the first two Deadpool movies were really fun. And I think having it in the MCU makes it better, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Because Deadpool kind of had its own flavor to it, which made it good. Wrath of Khan is a fantastic, probably the best Star Trek movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I absolutely love it. Godfather 1 and 2, a little bit dialogue heavy for me. I actually get kind of bored in Godfather 1 and 2. I'm just not a fan of... Oh, there's music that way. Let's go this way. I'm not really a fan of dialogue heavy. My brain just doesn't process tons of dialogue, where movies are more about the dialogue and not the action and cinematography. I'm more of a cinematography connoisseur. I need a movie that like just look really beautiful. Now, I'm not saying Godfather's not a beautiful movie. It is. I'm just saying it's a dialogue heavy movie, and because of that, I get kind of lost. There's certain people that love certain shows like Downton Abbey that they absolutely love it, and when I watch it, it's just like my brain can't take it. It's just like me at a party. I can't sit there listening to two people talking for 40 minutes about something. I want to go do the thing. I don't want to hear the stories about the thing, if that makes sense. For me, the Starship Trooper story was very, very well, or the idea of it was kind of recreated in the Black Mirror episode, where the soldiers had to attack all the really grotesque alien monsters. I don't know if you guys want a spoiler, but basically, I don't want to spoil it. It's such a good episode. But it's basically the soldiers have to attack these grotesque alien type monsters, but then something happens to the technology and they just realize they're just refugees trying to survive. And that's the same kind of thing. I'm trying to think. I'm so annoyed that there's so many services. I need Apple and Paramount and all that. I want to watch the Beanie Baby movie. That looks funny and fun and exciting. Zach Galifianakis plays Tari Warner, and it's like a dramatization of the Beanie Baby craze, but through the lens of the creator of Beanie Babies. I really want to watch that movie, but it's on Apple Plus, I think. So annoying. I hate that there's too many streaming services. Getting tired. It's been a long day. I'm gonna get some water out while I'm walking. I've lost my stream of thought. I think I've never actually seen Scarface. I think that's one gangster movie I've never saw. I love Goodfellas. Goodfellas is absolutely fantastic. I love what's the Sergio Leone one? The Once a Time in America. That one is really good. It's long, but I really like the cinematography on that one. I know. I feel like I need to get it for like a month. I might even have it with my cell service. I got to look into that. But I just feel like I'm already overwhelmed. I have Hulu, I have Netflix, I have Max, I have regular cable, I have Disney Plus. I feel like I'm already paying for way too many services. It's so like, I felt like the services were supposed to make it easier and cheaper, but it feels like it's more expensive now to watch TV than ever. I almost feel like I should cut them all out and just collect the movies. It would be cheaper. All right, Stephanie, good night. Pretty sure I like a lot of Brian De Palma stuff, but I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember what he directed. The Good and the Bad, it's not The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. It's Once a Time in America, I believe. The Good and the Bad and the Ugly is awesome. Oh, Kevin, thank you for messaging me on Instagram about the movie. I definitely want to check that out. It sounds interesting. Now, The Good and the Bad and the Ugly is a beautiful movie. I absolutely love that one. That movie I can watch multiple times, like once every few years. I like the soundtrack does it for me. When you hear the flute, doo-doo, wah wah wah. Like when I hear that, I get chills and I love it. Doo-doo, wah wah wah. And I love the one saying with Wallace is his name. I forget his name. Where he's like, "Don't go pissing down my back and call it rain." I love that scene. This is a while there. I was a huge Eastwood fan probably 20 years ago. I don't know if I'm as big of a fan. He's still making. I don't like his politics that much, but I do love his movie making. Yeah, I'm not one for having a lack of things to watch, but one of these days I might watch it, or maybe I'll just wait till someone trades in some of the movies and just watch them or whatever. Yeah, Once Upon a Time in America, that's it. It's like 4 hours long, but it's such a beautiful, like, gangsters type movie. I definitely recommend that one. I love that one a lot more than The Godfather. And I'm not shitting on The Godfather. The Godfather's a good movie. It's just not a movie for me. It's not one, like, for me, always people are saying how great The Godfather is. And I'm like, I liked it. It was good. But I don't know if it's one of my, Untouchables was really good too. But yeah, I just love the cinematography in Once Upon a Time in America. I'm trying to think. Well, who? Tom Tykwer? Oh, really, Jason? Oh, that's awesome. That's really awesome. No Country for Old Men is good. That's a isn't that a Coen Brothers movie? Am I wrong? Oh no, or is that that's also what's his name? Clint Eastwood. Crow's good. I like The Crow. I was into that kind of stuff back in the 90s. I haven't watched it in a long time, so I don't know. I need to rewatch to see if I still like it. Unforgiven was good. I liked Unforgiven. I love my favorite Eastwood Western movie is Pale Rider. I think Pale Rider has the best 2-minute intro of any movie ever. It's basically a family inside, or it's like a small little mining town, and they're panning for gold, washing the clothing, they're doing little mining town stuff, and then you hear in the background, you hear the pitter patter of horses, like, and then they show the horses, it's like, and then they go back and then the sound of the horses just keep building up, and then it goes into the mining company that comes into the town and like beats everyone up and tries to tell them to get out of there. They're taking their land and that kind of stuff. Such a great opening to any movie. Pale Rider, I love that one. Trying to think. Tom Tykwer have you guys watched any Tom Tykwer? He did Run Lola Run. He did Another one with Franca Portante, is that her name? I'm drawing a blank. He did like a horror with her, and I think there's 3 or 4. All of them are such beautiful movies. If I remember liking Brain Scan. It was kind of goofy, but kind of fun. But yeah, Goodfellas is a classic. I like Goodfellas. I like, what's her name that plays the wife? I'm drawing a blank. She was in a movie with Sean Connery that I absolutely love. That's, I'm drawing a blank of the movie name now. It's one of my all-time favorites, but I haven't thought about it in like 10 years. She goes into the jungle researching, looking for medicine, and like, I don't know. What's that movie name? I'm drawing a blank on her name. Oh, we got Futurama. Once Upon a Time in the West. I don't know if I've actually seen that one, Lars. I might have, but I don't remember that one very well. All I know is I love his movies. His movies are good in general. Oh, what's the Coen Brothers? Okay. I was getting a little bit mixed up. No Country for Old Men. Yeah, Coen Brothers is probably my all-time directing team. I think every single one of their movies are fantastic. Blood Simple. The first time I tried to watch it, I had to turn it off because I was kind of bored. But the second time I watched it, I realized it's just a brilliant movie. Blood Simple has the coolest opening credits where, you know how a lot of old school movies, they spend 20 minutes showing people's names? What I love about Blood Simple is that they're on a road and it's really stormy. And so the windshield wipers like, so as it's swiping, like the names of people come up and then it wipes them away. I just thought it was like the coolest intro of a movie. Yeah, Ken, I saw that a long time ago. I don't really remember at all, but there was a time in the 90s that I just watched everything River Phoenix did. To me, it breaks my heart that he died so young. And all those old school Keanu movies, I absolutely love those. Keanu's been, he's always been kind of a goofy actor, but I've always loved all his movies, even back then. All those, Point Break and all those Bill and Ted's movies, then the Bill and Ted's, then Speed, and all those up through the Matrix, and then past the Matrix. I've always enjoyed Keanu. But he's always like, I'm an FBI agent. Like, it was like the same acting style every time. So he's kind of like a bad actor. And yeah, I loved his roles. I don't know, something funny about it. Just the way he acts is like, it's like the same. Yeah, Medicine Man, that's it. I love Medicine Man. That's a movie I really... And what's the actress that was in Medicine Man? I'm drawing a blank on her name. No, not Stephanie Seymour. That's a model. No, it's... I'm drawing a blank because she was in Goodfellas too. Drawing a complete blank. But she was really good in Medicine Man. With Sean Connery. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. I think there's that one time I really, really enjoyed jungle-themed movies, like where people are just out in the middle of nowhere surviving and doing stuff. The movie Mosquito Coast was another one I absolutely loved back in the day. With Harrison Ford takes his family to like the middle of nowhere in a jungle to survive, and it's like he goes crazy, and he's like trying to create like an ice making machine to trade ice with the natives. Such a crazy movie. Drawing a blank at her name. I'm really drawing a blank on that. I think that's why I also like the Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile double movies, because again they're like in the jungle surviving, but it's also a treasure hunt, kind of like that theme of a movie. Oh, they made a TV show. So is it a retelling of the story, just longer with a new cast, or was it like a sequel? Because I would like to watch that again. No, not Jane Seymour. Jane Seymour was in whatchamacallit, that old timey show. Okay, Ken, take care. Sleep well. Oh, Dead Girl on the Riverbank, another late 80s, 90s movie. Oh, I don't remember that. I'm drawing a blank on that one. Okay, Quackadilly Bill, Blip. Sleep well. No, it's someone has to look on the IMDb. My brain is just drawing a blank. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can picture her, but I can't. I can hear her accent in my ears. Man. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's her name. Yeah, Lorraine Bracco. I really liked her in The Medicine Man, and she was good in Goodfellas. All right, Kevin, is it like 8 episodes? I gotta watch that because I really liked The Time Traveler's Wife when they did the longer version of the story for Amazon. It was so much better. Yeah, Dr. Quinn, that's it. Dr. Quinn is Jane Seymour. No, I don't know if I've seen the Emerald Forest. It doesn't sound familiar. I don't think I saw that one, Lars. Was it good? If it was good, leave a comment after the video's over so I can look it up. You know what? I think I'm gonna walk down by the water. See what's going on down that way. I don't think I've seen the Emerald Forest. It does not sound familiar. I'll have to check it out. I spend so much time streaming and making content that I barely have time to watch anything anymore. So when I do watch stuff, I want to watch like the best stuff. I want to watch something where I feel like it was worth taking 2 hours to watch it. It was the best. I don't need like something to distract me for 2 hours. I want something that's like a meaningful, amazing storytelling for 2 hours. Like I'm trying to think. I watched the second half of The Witcher. I felt so lost, and it was just so meandering that I felt like I was wasting my time. The first half was great, and then the second half just went nowhere. It was crazy. Secret Invasion felt like I was wasting my time. It felt like it was an incomplete story that was only half told. Look Up? Are you saying the movie Look Up? I liked Look Up. Look Up was okay. It was an interesting concept of a story. I've seen Look Up type movies so many times though. Those like end of the world type movies, which I do kind of like. All right, we got the music blasting. 5 out of 10 because it's in a proper club. 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Man, people are lining up to have a fun evening. River's Edge. I'll have to check it out. I'll add it to my list of things to check out. You're off.
Well, at least you didn't have technology, because that's what I was thinking.
So Kevin, did you like this series? Is it good? Like, I love the original movie so much. So if it's even like 80% as good as the movie, I'll probably really enjoy it. If it's better than the movie, I'll absolutely love it. I'll definitely add it to my list of things to watch. I kind of like survival type telling of stories, so it's one of my favorite genres to watch. Like when it came to reality TV, I enjoyed the Survivor Man series for a couple years. Just watching that dude go out into the forest and survive, I thought that was kind of fun. I like, you know, in Star Trek, I liked Voyager the most because it was like a survival tale. River's Edge. It sounds familiar. I might have seen it. I don't remember. I need to be able to time travel just so I can watch everything that I want to watch. Yeah, it's the thing with, I have a feeling with all the strikes, we're going to run out of content to watch, so we get to catch up on our lists. And then once we're catched up, we will just be watching AI and people live streaming, walking around places. I'll be your entertainment from now on, folks. Next 10 years, there will be no predetermined created content. It'll just be someone like me walking around talking about the days when they used to make brand new television shows. Oh, look up. All right, I'm missing. The chat's going too fast. What did I miss? Did I miss something? What did I miss? I don't know what I missed. I have no idea what I missed, David. I have no idea. I've been walking for an hour and a half and I'm tired. I was in the store for 4 hours sorting stuff. It's been a long day. My brain is breaking. Oh yeah, Lauren Bracco. Or Lorraine Bracco, whatever her name is. Now I'm forgetting. Yeah, that was her. That was her. She was really good in Medicine Man. I watched that movie again maybe like 6 years ago and I still really loved it. Yeah, exactly. Look Up was a good satire of human existence, and it made sense, right? We've seen the whole pandemic go through, and some people are just like, it was crazy just how people reacted so differently in different situations. It might take more than that for what's uploaded in one day, right? It's just so much content is being created, and that's like just the beginning. Once AI starts creating content, we're going to have hour-long movies. They're probably the best movies you've ever seen, but they'll be making them like 100 a day. I think, oh, music, really loud. People are having fun. I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. I'm getting a fun vibe right there. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I kind of remember, who was in River's Edge again? Because the name sounds very familiar. I feel like I've watched it years ago. I have a feeling I saw that movie. Oh, another director. I like David Fincher movies. That's another director I really enjoy. We haven't talked about him yet tonight. You know, Fight Club, Panic Room, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the Zodiac Killer. I'm trying to think what other movies he did. I really like those movies. Although I didn't like Alien 3. I think that was his one movie that kind of wasn't good.
Yeah, you know, I just actually saw like a thing.
I like some of those movies. Some of them are done really good. I'm trying to think. Adjustment Bureau, I'm pretty sure I saw that. Next, I don't remember. Paycheck. Minority Report, I really liked. Screamers and Scanner Darkly, I really liked. All right, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the chat and figure out everything that people are talking about so I can make a giant ass long list of things I want to watch and check out and not have time to do it. Don't look up, that's it, okay. I'm getting confused. It's all right. I'm always confused.
Straight.
I'm just trying to get my steps in while having a fun time. And not getting run over by cars. And trying to avoid people that all of a sudden want to jump in my stream because sometimes they make me a little bit uncomfortable. Crispin Glover, that's the guy from Back to the Future, correct? Didn't he do a really good rat movie? I can't remember what it's called. I didn't see it though. I just heard it was really good. I was just randomly naming people down. I'm so bad at remembering names, so if you just give me a random name, it takes me 30 minutes to translate it sometimes to understand what's going on. I have no idea what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, trying to not get hit by cars. I was trying to cross the street. It was a green light, so I was walking against the green light, but there was a bunch of cars in front of us, so there's nowhere for the car to go. So the car started jerking at me, so I walked back. Then they paused, like I should go, so I went. Then they jerked forward, so finally I just went around the car. But there was like all cars in front of him, so he had nowhere to go. I think I'm gonna just go this way. I'm trying to think. I feel like half the movies I'm watching now, I'm just trying to win stuff on Whatnot half the time, so I'm not even enjoying them half the time. I do have to say, I'm really enjoying the and Just Like That, Sex and the City sequel. I really like the characters. I feel like they've been part of my life for 20-something years, so I kind of enjoy seeing them just older and living their life and experiencing life at a different age. I actually kind of like it. It makes me kind of tear up at times, laugh at other times. Hey, Dwayne. Wrist Cutters, a love story. It's about depressed lovers, I guess. Oh, okay, so he kills himself and then he's in purgatory. Okay, Zombie Monkey, leave that in the video's comments after the stream. I would like to check that out. Yeah, I've been living in Brooklyn for 25 years now. So my whole lifetime is here. Not once in a lifetime, it's once every second of every day for 25 years. Except for a couple trips out of the city. A few trips out of the city, but not a lot of trips out of the city. All right. Whew. I'm getting really tired. I need to figure out 20 more minutes of walking so I can get my hours in, and then I'm gonna go relax the rest of the night because I feel my leftovers kind of digging through my stomach right now. I love how the emojis are just translated, so I don't know what hand pink waving actually looks like. I'm assuming it's a pink hand emoji. It's funny how some emojis work. Like I see Dwayne's hello yellow hand, but apparently the pink hand does not go to Streamlabs. I need to make I'm trying to figure out, I need to find some scheduled time. I want to start reading some manga, so I feel like I need to figure out a way to read like one a day or something. Just like plan it. I got to plan out my day a little bit. No, driving in New York City is a nightmare. That's why I don't drive. I tried it once. I thought I was going to murder every single person because of the amount of people just like walking in front of you, walking left and right. Biker coming this way, car coming this way, car opening that way. It's terrifying. I mean, it's easy to spend a fortune on Whatnot because the people are giving you deals left and right. If you go on eBay, everything you want is $50, but then you go on Whatnot and you're seeing it for 20 to 30 over and over and over and over again. It's like it's so hard for me not to buy on Whatnot. I finally started buying a couple of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives the last couple days because now they're going for less than the original retail. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take that limited to 400 Jenny Friesen Grimm cover for $20, or the Jenny Friesen foil Power Ranger cover signed by her for $40. That's limited to 400 copies. I'll take that. That I always say with that new hot stuff, you wait a couple weeks and the price comes way down, and now whatnot, people are like giving it away. It says it looks like a smiling poop and a smiley face. It doesn't say anything. It knows that one. Oh, Daredevils. That's fantastic. What I really like now is that you hit that $8 limit, so you get free shipping. So you can now actually buy dollar books for $1 instead of $1 plus $1 shipping each time. Pizzeria Kamikaze. I never heard of it. I'll have to look it out or watch it or do both. Daredevils are awesome. I love Daredevils. I have most of them from probably about like 40 up. I think from 100 up, I probably have 98% of them. I need, of the original run, not the later runs. I'd have a bunch of those too. But I need to make a list of what I need and start going back and finishing the run. Because now that I'm number 1, I need to spend like 500 on a good number 2, and then figure out the rest I need. I have probably 2 or 3 others under 10. It goes back up sometimes, but that's what I'm saying is I'll buy it a few weeks after when the price, everyone's still dumping it. Because what happens is the price will go up once everyone sells out, so you got to grab it while it's not sold out yet. And so I've been slowly grabbing a few of the ones I've wanted. Because right after San Diego Comic-Con, a lot of those issues are going for like $100 each. So I was like, you know what, I'm patient. I'd rather not pay. It was $20 retail. I don't want to secondhand buy it for more than maybe like $25, $30. Oh, the Frank Miller run is fantastic. Absolutely one of my favorites. I finally just got a 158 6 months to a year ago. Like I've been looking for decades. And finally Kyle got one and he sold it to me for like $100 or something like that. So I was thrilled to get that. 158 was high on my want list. So I have most of the key issues, if not all of them, I think. I don't know if I'm missing any key issues from the Daredevil run. I know First Bullseye, I have several copies. Oh, the shipping. Yeah, after like 10 or so, you get hit with another $8 charge, but I'm okay with that. And if you ask, I think they can combine it and save you the shipping. No, I don't have a Star Trek #1. I would like to have that. That's actually on my want list. For me, Star Trek always has felt like something that isn't high demand and collectability wise. I don't know why, because I absolutely love Star Trek. So even though issue #1 is super expensive, I never felt the urge to get it, go out and get it, because it's going to rise in value basically. It'll slowly rise, but like if I wait 2 years to get it, it'll probably only be 10% more in value and not like double or triple. So Star Trek 1 is more like, I'm going to just wait until I find it for a great deal, more than going, that's kind of like Amazing Spider-Man 300 that I just bought. I've been looking for one for 20 years, not 20 years, maybe 12 years, actually wanting one. But I didn't want to pay a lot for it. I wanted to get one for a good deal, and the one I got from Eric was probably about $100 under the eBay price. Yeah, Uncanny 94 is a fantastic key issue. I actually just got one for about $100 under market from Bryce Comics maybe 6 months ago. He put it up at auction, started at whatever, $10. And I bid, I think, $650. And I looked on eBay and Go Collect, and it had been going for about $750. I don't know if it's come down any since I bought it, but it felt like a great deal. It was, I think, a 7.0. Yeah, Star Trek 1 is a gold keeper. That is correct. And it's actually quite a pricey one. I think even a 6.0 might be $500 plus. Oh yeah. No. What's his name? Rob Liefeld. I've never really liked Rob Liefeld. I don't like his art at all, and he's kind of a big ego, which I don't like. Claremont on X-Men. Yeah, Claremont and X-Men are my all-time favorite comics, probably. I love those. I'm down to, I think I have 94. I have the whole run, I think. I don't know if there's anything I'm missing. I might be missing 1 or 2 random issues, but I have all the major keys. And the only one I'm missing Giant Size 1. $1,200 for what, 98 you mean? That he signed or whatever? That's just too much. Oh no, $1,200 for 94 X-Men you mean? Okay. I'm mixing up Deadpool and X-Men. Yeah, no, I didn't get near me. I got like a 7.0, which is very fine minus, I think, but 7.0 is perfectly awesome for me for a early 1970s book. I kind of aim for 7.0s actually, because it's right at the level where the prices doesn't get too expensive yet, but it still looks really good. That's when I bought my Aquaman last year. I bought a one. It was a 5.0 for I think 800. When it gets to an 8.0, it goes to like 2,000 to 3,000. It like quadruples the price. So I try to aim for 5 to 7s. I try to buy the highest grade before it takes the really big jump on that old stuff. That way you get a nice looking one, but still affordable. Once you get the next grade up, sometimes they really, really jump. Yeah, exactly. 7.0 looks nice. It's not perfect, but it presents really well. I have a bunch in that range. Like my first Swamp Thing is a 7.5, I believe. My Silver Surfer 4 is a 7.0. Trying to think. I bought like 4 or 5 kind of bigger keys in that range in the last year or so. Just because, again, it's right at the price where the next grade bump is when it really starts, skyrocketing in value. So I like to get as close to that line without the price going too crazy. Because, first Swamp Thing still cost me $2,400, but when you go from a 7.5 to 8.5, it like triples in price or doubles in price. So like that one grade bump is really, for me, it wasn't worth it. It's not going to look that much better for double the price. I'd rather have 2 major key issues in a 7.0 than one in an 8.0, basically. Because at the end of the day, I just want them. It's not like, it's an investment in the sense that you're spending money and you might need that money back at some time. But for me, I just want to have the book in a nice looking way that I can enjoy it and just like have that thrill of knowing I have these really cool things. Right? When I pull out my Daredevil 1, I still can't believe I own it. It's one of those things where I was just like, for 20 something years, I was like, one day I really want it and now I have it. Holy crap, how did that happen? And I know sometime in the next year or so, I'll probably do that with an X-Men 1. Right now, I don't have any 80s Uncanny X-Men. I'm sold out. I need to find more. For like the above 200 issues, really maybe like $5 each, unless it's one of the key issues. Below 200, it's 3 to 7, depending on what it is. I try to do it a little bit under market value when I put stuff in the shop. Yeah, no, I'm Liefeld. I don't think I've ever seen a Liefeld drawing where I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Occasionally, I'll see one. I'm like, oh, it's okay, kind of. But yeah, no. Number 1 Daredevil was probably my top 5, but maybe even my top 1 Grail book, because it's one that I've been after. But there's other Grail books that I wanted more than Daredevil 1 in the sense that, like, I would love to have an Action Comics 1, but I never thought it was feasible. Whereas Daredevil 1 has always been just out of reach. Where I'll bid like $50 in 2000 and it goes for 55. I'm like, dang it. I bid 400 in like 2010 and it goes, for $5 more than that, that kind of thing. It was at the point where I kept, like, every couple of years I'd bid on a Daredevil 1 on a whim. I'm like, all right, now's the chance. I see a good auction, I would bid on it and I would lose it. And I was like, all right, well, next time. And then the price would go up. And so by the time I could afford the price, it was higher. So this is the first year I was like, I'm buying one. I don't care what it's going to cost. I'm going to try to get the nicest looking one I can get within budget. And I did. I got it. My 5.0 looks really nice to me. There's no major flaws on it. It has its general wear. It's a bit tanned, but there's no big creases or stains or anything that really distracts it. Nice. Yeah, Daredevil is a fun run. I think it's semi-affordable. Yes, there's some keys, but they're not like X-Men 94. Hey, Reed. I really need to do a big Marvel sort and figure where I'm at in all my runs, though. I think a lot of my runs are near complete from the 80s, 70s and 80s stuff. I know I'm missing a few key issues here and there, and then like the Silver Age stuff, and maybe a little bit of filler, but for most part, I think I'm like my Marvel team up. I'm probably 5 issues or less away from completing it. Or, well, thank you, Dwayne. Yeah, no, it's the only way I was able to get it is that I've been selling Funko Pops. That I was able to gain a lot of value on by collecting them through the main channel for years. The Funko Pops are really going to be the thing that helped me get into a bunch of Grail books. I've already jumped into a ton of books, and I feel like with the streams that are going now that are going to really help get more of an audience into the shop, I should be able to sell a lot more, and I think I'll be able within like a month or two catch up on bills and start knocking out the next big one. Oh, I like Dazzler. Dazzler's a good one. I probably have all of them. I know I have 2 to 5 copies of Dazzler 1. I would pick them up if I saw them cheap. I used to find Dazzler 1s in the dollar bin. Oh, that's a conversation I wanted to have again. So I had on my dollar bin $100 budget video, I had one guy with giant debates over the fact that I didn't grab X-Force #1 and Darker Image #1. And then I had someone else saying, isn't X-Force 1 a $5 book all day long? Why didn't you grab those? And so I want to know, in New York City, I see them all the time. They're so common and I can't sell them. So I don't grab them. I'm not really interested in them. I already have probably, 50 X-Force ones and maybe 50 Darker Image ones. They're just super common. But he was saying, they're common. I see them everywhere, but you still grab them because they're worth something. And I'm just like, I don't want to buy more of stuff that I can't sell that I have already. Am I wrong? I don't understand why I always get these big debates over the first appearance of the Max and X-Force 1. It's so weird to me how people get kind of like upset at me for, I looked on my comic shop right now, I can buy near mint bagged copies of Darker Image for $2.50 and bagged near mint copies of X-Force 1 for like $2 to $3. Master Kung Fu number 18, I believe I grabbed. They have fine copies for $20, and mine is better than a fine, or is better than. So what made more sense for me to grab the Master Kung Fu 18 that is on my comic shop for $20, or these new books I see all the time that are like $3 or $4? It's really, really weird to me that it's always those same 2 books. It's almost like they only know those books and they don't know anything else. And then he was saying like, well, I know you always buy weird stuff, but you should really buy that stuff. It's not that they're giveaway. Yeah, they're giveaways. Yeah, I'll give them away on Whatnot. Exactly, Dwayne. I buy weird stuff because I want to collect fun stuff that I don't own. I have 90s books. I have them. If it's from 1990 to 1999, I have it 100%, all of it. Right? There might be a very small fraction I don't own, but I see it in every collection by the boatload. I don't need more 90s Image. I have 50 copies of Spawn 1 that are probably near mint. He was debating me on Spawn 1 being too cheap in my shop at $25. I told him I've had one for 6 months at $25, and he's saying, well, you must be selling it wrong. I'm like, no, people just don't want Spawn 1 in New York City because it's common. Like I don't understand it at all. Yeah, Master Kung Fu, I don't see those as often, and people don't trade them in. And so that's a run that I haven't completed. I would like to work on. So I'm grabbing those. Marvel 2-in-1, I'm pretty much done. I have 4 issues left. I forget which ones. I need to make a list. Marvel Team Up, I'm pretty much done. I have a handful. And when I say a handful, I mean I have newsstand and direct editions, almost full runs. So if there's 100 issues, I have almost 200 issues of both of those. I think my Marvel 2-in-1 is almost a long box. Well, it's more like they think I'm stupid for not grabbing X-Force 1 because that's like a $5 bill I'm leaving behind. And I'm thinking, I don't need more. Like, it's more work for me, and they're not selling. Like, if I put it out for $5, or someone, he told me the Wildcats 1. I literally have 40 copies of that in my shop right now for $4 a piece, and they're not selling. Yeah, Spawn 1 is so uninteresting. Now, the other, 6 months ago, I bought a Spawn 1, and I was thrilled to get it, and it was mid-grade, because it was a newsstand. It was the rare version. That was exciting. I was like, oh, cool. It's a newsstand. Eric had it. He had it in his shop for like $10. I was like, Eric, you know this is a newsstand? He's like, well, yeah, but it's not in great shape. I'm like, yeah, but it's a newsstand. It's worth more. He's like, oh, okay. But I was like, but I still want it. I didn't want to pay more for it. He's like, all right, that's fine. I'll give it to you for the $10. I just wanted to make sure he was okay selling it to me for the $10. I see X-Force 1 and Darker Image 1 in every dollar bin in the city. They are so common. And exactly, I know what I want. I want weird stuff. I'll buy modern variant comics I see in dollar bin because it's something I've never seen before, and it's marked variant, knowing it's probably a lower print run. I'll grab that just because it's something I don't see. If it's something I've seen 1,000 times and I owe 50 of them and they don't really sell that well, I'm not gonna really buy them. I don't need a project. I have too many projects. I literally have 100,000 comics. I could be full-time selling on eBay with my comics for probably 20 years and still have more comics to sell. I don't need that. What I want, if I'm selling comics, I want stuff that I can put in the shop at $3 and just have it sell. You know, Spider-Man stuff. Like Spawn comics in general don't sell in my shop. When I put Spawn in the shop, they sit there for months on end. Occasionally, one person will come in and buy a handful of Spawn. I have a lot of issues for like $3 to $5. But they sit. I've had key issues, like really good key issues, that are $20, sit in the shop for 6 months to a year before they sell. So I'm not really interested in shelf warmers, even if they're worth a little bit. Even if I could put them on eBay and maybe get $10 out of it. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in stuff for myself and stuff that sells to the casual collector. I'm not looking for common key issues that don't sell really well. What I want is the stuff that a mom comes in and buys a Spider-Man comic for their kid. That's what I need for the shop. Because that's who I'm selling to. I'm not really selling to the hardcore comic people. Don't sell in my shop. You know why? Because they're looking in dollar bins for $20 books for $1. They're not looking to pay full price for things. Yeah, no, you look at them. I was making fun of at the Brooklyn Invasion 2 shows ago. Joey was using Superman 75, which is another one of those $5 books. He would use like 20 of them as filler to fill in the box. That's what they were good for. They were good to keep the other dollar books from getting damaged. No, it's super weird. Well, he said in California they sell well. So maybe in California they're rare and they're worth something, which I can understand. Other parts of the country don't have access. I just know in New York City there are so many comics, and that's one that's in like every store, every collection. I see them so often. I don't see X-Force 1 and get excited. I do double check to see if there's a Deadpool card, but most shops pull the Deadpool card ones out and then the rest go into the dollar bin. It's not fight. It's more like judgment. Like I'm somehow doing dollar bins wrong by not grabbing the X-Force ones and the Darker Image. My friend Sean, he's like a dollar bin expert. He will buy Darker Image out of $1. He once pulled $1 at one shop. He pulled a Darker Image for $1. The guy tried to charge him $10 for it. He's like, "Oh, this is a key issue." Sean's like, "No, I'll buy it for $1 if you don't want to sell it," and then he put it back. That's how ridiculous it was. Hey, Ted. Lars, I think I actually do have that martial law series. I grab all the epics. I believe Epic put out martial law. Pretty sure it was Epic, but I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure I have that. I feel like that's something I would grab. You know what I am thinking about? There was a $10 book at Eric's store that I didn't buy. It was a Brian Boland kind of sexy girl cover of a comic I've never heard of. He had it on the wall for $10, and I've been like thinking about that issue, so I should have grabbed it. I just didn't know what it was worth. $10 is fair. It's probably about the same price online, but without the shipping. So it probably cost me like $15 online or $12 online. So I think I'm going to get that book next week if he still has it. I love Brian Boland work, so I love finding new ones I haven't seen before. I think that's always cool to me. Dwayne, do you want me to buy you the X-Forces? Like, do you want me to buy them to send to you? Because if you want to pay for them, I will start. If you send me the money and the shipping costs, I'll just load you up with X-Force 1. We'll see if we can find 100 in like a month. There were a lot of movie talks. Now we're talking comics. Okay, yeah, I like you said, they're common, but I should still be buying. If I see a Darker Image one, if it's in the poly bag, I guess. Because out of the poly bag, it's worth $1. I can go buy them for $1 on my comic shop. But even then, like, Darker Image 1 does not give me any excitement. Now, if I see a max, like 18 or 20 or one of those high numbers that are rare and expensive, I get excited for those because I don't see those. If I see a Spawn in the hundreds, I snatch them up because Spawn above 100 is rare and fun to find because I don't have those. If I see a newsstand, I'm excited. But those non-newsstand image stuff from the 90s, I just have no interest in them. And I'm not, and I always say not because they're bad comics, but because they're common, they're easy to get, and I already have them all. Oh, I mean, if you wanted to invest in my channel so I can make a video buying 100 X-Force ones or X-Force / darker image, I would do that. I'll do any kind of fun, silly content like that. Someone funded it. Totally would do that. And then maybe even do like a giveaway on Whatnot or something. Nah, it's all right. You don't have to do that. I just don't understand the obsession on those issues because it happens because people every few weeks or every few months, whenever there's an X-Force one or like a darker image one in a dollar bin, people freak out. They don't grab them. I just don't understand it. I know. Well, for instance, the was it Ravager 2099? Eric had one in his shop for $6. I'm like, Eric, you're gonna sell this to me for $1? He's like, yeah, that's fine. So I bought one for $1. I'm buying those for Martin, Aussie comic collector. I'm up to 14 of them, I think. So back in the day, comics were all newsstand in the 30s, 40s, 50s, because that's where you would sell comics. They'd be on the newsstand. Then in the 70s, by the end of the 70s, well, early 70s, they started being comic shops. But by the end of the 70s, they started distributing comics to the comic shop. And there's a whole different distribution system. So comics were still sent to like supermarkets, newsstands, places that sold periodicals, magazine shops. So they were, both. But so the newsstand ones are still very common in the 70s. So those don't have any value, but people think they are because the newer ones do. So, but by the 80s, the market for comics went strong into the comic shop. So by the late 80s, newsstands started being a bit more rare. But then by the 90s, comics were dead. They just collapsed. And they weren't selling in newsstands anymore. They were only comic shops. So newsstands in the 90s are very low print run. And usually they were on lower quality paper. So they're more likely to be damaged. So like a Spawn 1 newsstand, they might have only made like 10, 20,000 of them. Whereas the comic shop one, they made 4 million of them. You would have to buy like 1 million X-Force ones. Honestly, I literally used to have people walk into my shop with a short box full of Spawn #1, and I paid them 10 cents a piece. And I put them in my dollar bin, and they would slowly sell. Spawn 1 did not have value until like maybe 5 years ago. And then people are paying, 20 to 50. Well, I put them in my shop for 25. It slowly. He was arguing that I was undervaluing them. They should be 35. They are common. I literally have 50 of them right now in my collection. I really if I saw a Spawn in a dollar bin, I'd probably buy a Spawn one, but I wouldn't be like, cha-ching, I just made $30. I'd be like, oh God, another one I got to throw on the pile. That's how I would feel. This is all I think about every day, Reed. The knowledge is in my head. I will share it with people. Occasionally people get mad at me for how I think of things, but I think in terms a little bit different than most people. I don't think, let me get another Spawn one because it's worth something. It's more like, let me put that money into something else of similar value that I don't have, or maybe a little bit less value, but I can't find. That's more, I'm trying to find things I want more than value. The value is just an added bonus. In fact, I have to force myself sometimes to buy for the shop because I don't normally when I'm out buying comics and stuff, I'm in fun mode. I'm doing that as like a stress relief fun time. I'm not really thinking about the shop. And if I accidentally buy some duplicates to sell to the shop, that's just like an added bonus. But when I buy stuff, I'm not thinking, let me buy another job. I don't need another 20 minutes work to sell a Spawn 1. Because everything's value is based on the work you want to put on. Spawn 1's value would take getting it graded, getting it pressed, getting it or listing it on eBay. It'd take a lot of times. 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Yeah. Not only were 90s print runs crazy, because honestly, the print runs were crazy in the golden age, because people bought them as their entertainment back then. So comic books would sell in the millions back then, but they would get consumed. They're like cups of coffee. People would read them to the point where they weren't good anymore, and they would get thrown out or recycled. Right? And then during World War II, they did big paper drives to get paper for the military. So a lot of comics were just destroyed back then to be used. They were just, they were disposable. So but by the 90s, everyone's parents were saying, keep this stuff because our stuff got destroyed and thrown out and it's worth a lot. Spider-Man 1, Superman 1. So by the 90s, everyone was keeping their stuff mint. So people would have bagged and boarded Spawn 1s in a long box, put away in the closet. So there's literally hundreds of thousands of copies of these things in mint condition or near mint or even very fine condition, waiting to be found or in people's collections. I think most collectors that buy and sell collections will have a box full. I have a box full. I find them all the fucking time. I think they're in like almost every collection I buy that has 90s stuff. So when I buy a 90s collection, what I want to see is indie books. If I see like early Ninja Turtles or Ninja Turtles would be 80s. So 90s you would want, I'm drawing a blank, maybe like Evil Ernie books. Right? If I see Evil Ernie books, I'm like, oh, is Evil Ernie #1 in here? Because that's the kind of stuff that revs up my blood, gets me excited, because that's where the value is. And Salty Deadpool, David, that's all you need to know. You just have to say, oh, I love this cover. You figure out what a good price for it is and then try to buy it for cheaper than that price. That's the magic of collecting to me. You find out the value of the thing you want that's shiny. You're like, that's beautiful. It's going for 20 bucks on eBay. Oh, this vendor's selling for 10 bucks on whatnot. Done. I have this shiny thing and I saved 5 bucks after shipping. That's all you need. Yeah, in the 70s, people cut their comics up. My friend Sean, his childhood DC Comics Presents 26, he thought the comic was stupid, but he loved the Teen Titans. He ripped it out. He ripped out the Teen Titans and he kept that part of the book. He also told me he used to clip out the Marvel coupons, because that's just what you did as a kid, because they weren't collectible in the 70s. They were just things you enjoyed and consumed. Right? It wasn't until the 90s when parents were like, oh, this stuff is going to be worth something. You got to keep it. Then parents started buying it. Like, that's why Beanie Babies, comic books, trading cards, all that stuff was mass produced and mass kept in great shape. And that's why it wasn't worth as much. Zombie Monkey, they're so cheap. If you have a local comic shop, go to the dollar bin in that comic shop and you should be able to find the things you want for $1. All right, I'm at 2 hours and 8 minutes. I should be going to sleep too. Hi, Jason. I'll talk to you soon. Something Killing the Children. It's a well-liked book. Print runs aren't too crazy on it. Everyone is keeping them mint or getting them slabbed. I don't know how high. Like, when I look at Nice House on the Lake #1, people went crazy grading that. So there's like 5,000 9/8. So I'm not sure if that book will ever have value because of how common it is. Something is Killing the Children, like 1, I'm not sure how rare it is. But I mean, there isn't any crazy value. I mean, 100, 200 bucks here or there for like the 9/8. That's not crazy value. That's just like sort of high, but you can buy raw copies for 20 bucks. So they're not super valuable compared to other things. So it's more of, will they ever get crazy value? Which they might. If they ever do a really good TV series or a movie or something, it would, shoot up. Venom #1, I love that book. That's the Lethal Enforcer 1, that beautiful red foil is a gorgeous book. I used to see them in dollar bins. I remember I was at the Cool Kid. There's a video I did on the main channel from 2016. We walked to our local junk shop. We bought a stack of comics, and the Cool Kid really wanted that book. We saw it on the way out. So I was like, oh, can you throw that on our stack for free for the kid? And they're like, yeah, sure. So they threw it to him. That Lethal Enforcer used to be a $1 book. Now it's like a $20 book. I think it's a beautiful book. I think that's the kind of book it's not, it's 20 bucks. It's going to stay at 20 bucks. It's so common that the price won't go up much more than that. So Lethal Enforcer 1, I would just hold out and try to find a cheap one somewhere. You might be able to get one for like $5. The Superman in the bag, you can get that anywhere for cheap. You could get that really cheap. In fact, Zombie Monkey, I might be able to pick one up at a comic show for like $1 for you, maybe $2. But yeah, they're fun. I have them. I have all those. I still like the history of them. I still think it's important.
Yeah, literally. No, and then it'll.
Yeah, I bought.
So people who are actually.
Death of Superman, my local shop was sold out, so I didn't. But at that time, I bought 10 Legends of the Dark Knight one. I bought like 10 Spider-Man ones, like 4 of each X-Men one. Like I was speculating as a teenager at that point, and that's kind of what killed it for me. Exactly. And honestly, what happened was the 90s by the end of the 90s, everyone's like, oh, that's Beanie Babies. Oh, that's comic books. Oh, that's sports cards. Because all those markets dropped. So people stopped collecting stuff. And that's why when the kids started loving Pokemon, no one kept it. Pokemon was just played with and enjoyed and destroyed. And that's why Pokemon cards are worth so much today. Because there are not a ton of high-grade ones. That's what you have to follow what the kids are into. What the kids are into and destroying is what will have value, because what the adults are buying and keeping in mint is not going to gain value because there's too much of it being kept. Like if I had the knowledge I had now, if I had kept all my cereal boxes, like every time I ate Captain Crunch with a special box, just kept that box, that would have been $50 to $400 bills stacked up. One box every 3 days for my whole childhood, 150 boxes a year. Maybe 10 years, 1,500 boxes times $100. I would have had $200,000 if I had just kept all my cereal boxes as a kid. You know why? Because no one kept that shit. Oh man, that sucks, Dwayne. House fires are a disaster. Yeah, just make it a dollar bin or like sub $5 goal. You'll find those. Because if you want them, you can go on eBay and spend $20 and get them easily. Okay, Ted. I appreciate you. Enjoy your podcast. And I'm probably going pretty quick, too, because I'm getting tired. And I think my phone's going to die any minute now. But, yeah, I love Venom 1. One of my regrets was in 2004 when we were selling in the store's basement. I put every comic book I bought out for $1. And apparently I had a Venom #1, the missing foil error. I sold it for $1. At the time, it was worth probably 20 to 40. The guy who bought it came back the next week, and he felt bad, like he ripped me off. He's like, oh man, I bought this. This is like a $40 book. I say, it's okay. I like your honesty. He was a regular customer that came in like almost every other week and spent $20. So I was really happy for him. Because at that time, comics weren't really worth anything. But I kind of regret it because I don't have a copy of that now, and I would like to have a copy of the Lethal Enforcer 1 error. Yeah, Zombie Monkey, I'm sure I could pick them up for under $2 for both of them. I see them all the time. In fact, I feel like I need to figure out an easy way to pick dollar bins for people. Like, I know Donald, I'm doing those Ziggy trades with him, so I am grabbing some stuff with him in mind. I do grab occasionally things for other people. Yeah, no, they're expensive. I mean, to me, I ate my cereal, I kept the toy throughout the box. If I had known, if I had just kept all those boxes, I would have $250,000. I would have done it. But people would have called me a hoarder as a kid, and they would have thrown it out. Yeah, but the only reason why it's worth money is because everyone threw it out. It's when everyone keeps it that make it valuable that it doesn't. So if everyone knew in the 80s to keep their comics, they wouldn't be worth, their cereal boxes, they wouldn't be worth anything. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. Maybe overseas where there aren't any Spawn 1s, $30 is reasonable. New York City, Spawn 1 is so common that I'm not interested in it at all. Not at all. And not that I hate on Spawn. I like McFarlane art. I like his Spider-Man's better. And I'm actually not that big of a Spawn fan in general. I still like the history of Spawn, and I think it's an interesting character. And I like his artwork. and a lot of the covers are cool. So I like it. It's so common that I don't need another, 51 or 52 or whatever would be how many I have. I have no idea. That was a huge crowd of people trying to figure out what to do. Squeezing now I do have a lot of cereal boxes because in the mentality I started keeping them in the early 2000s, just realizing how much this stuff from my childhood. So I have a lot of fun cereal boxes. I have a couple Honey Nut Cheerio boxes, one completely unopened, and then a couple of open ones that came with Iron Giant watch, which I also sent away for the watch. So I have the watch. I have an unopened cereal box, and I have like one cereal box open, and then one with the part cut out that I sent away. I have some Powerpuff Girls cereal boxes. I have some Toy Story Alien ones. I have the one year they had these mini Pez dispensers, so I actually have that series of boxes. I do kind of like cereal boxes in general. I think they're a fun collectible, or they're not even a collectible. They're a fun thing to collect that became collectible because of how fun they are. Oh, I'm sure it's a ghost town in Texas. It's probably so freaking hot out there still. I was hearing about places in Phoenix where they might have to just it might be unlivable in a few years, where it's just too much heat and not enough water to sustain life. People have to move away. There might be cities that are just closing down. All right, 2:16. I should really head home. It's late. Sure, Zombie Monkey, what is your highest? I have a feeling I should be able to find them for a buck or two, but if I see one for $5, you want me to grab it? What is your ceiling? And I'll try to get near mint copies, or at least a Very Fine Plus copy if it's a buck. But I should be able to grab them cheap for you. Yeah, I'm walking around in 72 degrees. For me, it's perfection right now. I could live in this. Music, 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. It's interrupting my walk tonight. So much music, so much going on. Okay, I think I can call it quits for the night because I'm tired. And I told Allison I'll try to get back soon enough that we can watch a show or a movie or something. Okay. All right. Just letting you guys know, I appreciate you. I love you guys. It's been a fun day. I enjoyed the main channel walk. I've enjoyed these walks. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do a comic video or I'll definitely be on the walk channel. I'm not sure if I'm going to do main channel or not. I might do a 2-hour sorting stream, but on Saturday it's usually busy. So we'll figure it out. Okay, appreciate you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.